Okay, so what do you do when you get to the bottom of the bag of chips and you have nothing but crumbs and small pieces, and you know only choice you have is to dig them out with your fingers and play Cheeto games? Okay, all right, so what do? Take all the chips you have left, especially if you've got two different kinds, and break them up and make yourself nachos. Okay, so this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna need about 2 cups or so ish, and you're gonna break them up, and you put some in the bottom. This is your standard like 16-ounce mason jar. I want you to mix your cheese with some sour cream. Throw a little garlic powder and onion powder in there and a little salt. Got to bring flavor of that cheese and have more cheese. You know, you want a good amount of cheese. I want you to think about the proportions that you generally see on a plate of nachos. You're going to have more chips than sour cream and beans and so forth. And even the cheese. The cheese is a light layer. All right, so then you take your beans, whether it is refried beans. You can use black beans if you don't have refried beans. Black beans, white beans, pinto beans, garbanzo beans. It's going to have different flavor. You can play with that. I took some black beans, drained them off pretty good, threw them in my little blender, magic bullet type thing, with salt and garlic powder and onion powder and a tiny bit of cumin, tiny bit of cayenne, a little bit of paprika. About for 1 can of beans, you only need about a tablespoon of jalapeno juice and about 2 to 3 jalapenos, depending on how hot you like it. And really, those 2 things are more for flavor than anything else. Anyway, blend them up, and you're going to do a layer of chips. You're going to do a layer of your sour cream and cheese. You're going to do a layer of your beans, a second layer of chips. I don't know if you can see it. Some more sour cream and some more beans. And when you get down to the little bitty crumbs, you just drop that on top, and you got a magic little, look like you worked hard, very pretty jar of nachos. You give your kids and your husband a spoon, and they go to town, and they're happy, and it looks fancy, and you are working with what you have. This is also a good reason to keep a few basics on hand. Keep your dry beans on hand. It's cheap. Keep your sour cream on hand. If you're not, like allergic to dairy or whatever, it's cheap. These are great value chips. They're cheap. A little bit of cheese. Block cheese is cheap. All right? Cheaper, I should say. All right, so maximize what you're getting for your money. And then you will, and like your apples and your potatoes and your less than $1 bags of vegetables. That less than $1 bag of vegetables, if you're 2 people, is 2 meals worth of vegetables. If you got a family, of course, then 1 bag is 4 servings and so forth. All right, so and apples, keep them on hand. Bananas, and things that, bananas are more expensive, so keep a few basic cheap things on hand, and it goes a long way. There's nothing to cutting up a potato in 1-inch cubes and boiling it, which you can do, just season them and eat them that way. You can mash them and have some mashed potatoes along with your whatever, corn and your leftover chicken. You could even mix all that together and have yourself one of those, like you can get the bowls at, KFC and whatever. You can make your own, and you can do it fast and cheap. If you cut your potatoes into 1/4-inch cubes, they fry up pretty quick. And throw, the leftover onion and bell pepper in there. You get what I'm saying. Cheap, easy, real, and if you can, make it pretty. Love you. Bye.